This morning on BRN, how breakfast is changing. And we're going to welcome back to the program Dr. David Anderson of Texas A&M University. David, great to see you again this morning. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Hey, it's great to be here.
So yesterday we talked about the continued prices of food continuing to rise, its impact on pantries and our local communities. I want to take a step back and ask you, Dr. Anderson, how is our breakfast changing for Americans?
Well, I guess I'd say as an economist, I think prices matter
Yeah, they do.
and relative prices matter. And I think one of the things we'll see is, particularly as some restaurant chains do some more surcharges because of the rising cost of eggs, I think it'll change what we order. Bacon and eggs, for instance, eggs are such a staple part of that. I think we'll see people maybe have a breakfast that's got one egg instead of two. Uh, so that begins to cut some of that quantity demanded, simply price driven. We might see some more dishes that don't have eggs in them. I frequent a local taco place here, and they, if you get in some parts of the country, you're going to have a bean and cheese taco that's got refried beans and cheese in it in a tortilla. Those are pretty tasty.
Yeah.
There's not an egg in those. So we'll see some changes like that, I think, where consumers choose, well, maybe I'll try this different item, or I'll just do one egg instead of two, or two instead of three for us big eaters.
Yeah, and Doctor, yesterday you talked about maybe some new restaurants coming online focused on breakfast. Are they going to be offering, they're not going to be offering eggs, or they won't be offering eggs. If they do at a premium, they'll be offering them. Will they be looking at other types of food, like more grains? I'm thinking about, this could be an opportunity for people to be very health conscious. So oatmeal, yogurt parfaits, more fruit. What
Maybe
could we?
back to cereal. We'll get our Wheaties in the morning.
Oh, I thought maybe you were going to Fruity Pebbles, because I know that's a whole nother conversation about the red dye. But anyway, in all seriousness, Doctor, continue.
Yeah, that's right. And so, I certainly think about places like that, because talk about getting your margin squeezed when eggs are really kind of a staple of that. And we see this rapid rise in prices. And I think about that too for restaurants that are like a one location, your small local deli or diner that's doing breakfast, um, where maybe they don't have the purchasing power volume to compete. And it really, yet they have to compete with other restaurants on price. And the squeeze on those restaurants, I think, on their margins is pretty terrible for them. And yet, what are their options for different types of your breakfast sandwich? Maybe you do a breakfast sandwich that doesn't have an egg on it. It's got ham and cheese or something like that. Yet, I think we'll see those kinds of changes in menus. And I do think we'll see some surcharges too for eggs, until we can get past the bird flu, get out of flu season, hopefully get some respite from that, and be able to expand flocks again, and that'll bring prices down.
Doctor, what about our the fast food chains, the McDonald's? I can't. That's the only one I can think of that offers the breakfast. I mean, are they? We've talked with you before about this. They are facing a lot of narrow margins because the price of employment, the price of hiring people, if they can find people, is going up. But also they're paying more for the ingredients. Are they still the go-to place for breakfast? And by the way, when I look out here in Charlotte on off of Fairview Road here, there's the McDonald's. It's always busy. So I guess some McDonald's are doing better. But in all seriousness, are the fast food restaurants, are they going to go the way of the dodo when it comes to breakfast?
I don't think so, because they are, it's part of getting to work. You pull through there, they have, a good location. It's easy to get in and out of. You know what you're going to get. There's a consistency to it. Yet even there, I think we see some growth in the kinds of offerings, where you see, a sausage biscuit, a fried chicken biscuit, things like that that may not have an egg in it. But I think we see some growth in offerings at those kinds of places too. Yet, grabbing breakfast on the run headed to work is I don't think that's going to change.
No, it's kind of an American tradition, as you said. We're the go 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 society. Get in line, place your order, and you go to the kiosk, pick up your order. What about
driving to the office?
Yeah, I mean it or drop your schlep your kids to school, then you go to the office. Let me ask you about substitutes, liquid egg substitutes. I mean, look, when I was a younger person and an athlete, I liked egg whites. I would buy either eggs and separate the eggs from the white, or I would buy liquid egg white. Is a liquid egg an alternative that could be used by some of these dining establishments as an alternative to a traditional chicken egg?
Well, it all starts with eggs, and they're still what we might call, processed. It's egg whites, and
Mm-hmm.
that's part of the egg. You can buy whole liquid eggs instead of, it's in the shell. You can buy the liquid eggs, but it still started with eggs, and it
Mm-hmm.
still began from that chicken and eggs, and it goes to a processed egg category, the liquid eggs or something like that, or it went to a whole table eggs. And so, given that they're all eggs and they're all coming from the chicken, it still hits prices, even though you know you do see, I think there are places that are moving in instead of going with a table leg that they're going to crack and fry that thing for you, you're going to go to something that's liquid, trying to manage your costs a little bit. Yet it still all starts with eggs.
Yeah, I mean, and that would be the case, doctor, with powdered eggs. I mean, they used to make a joke when I was in college 30 plus years ago that the cafeteria was powdered eggs, but that started kind of in the same place. It started with eggs. It was just processed, correct?
Yeah, it did, and there's some sort of, egg is a perishable item. Powdered eggs are a different kind of thing. So it's figuring out how to use supplies, particularly to feed lots of people, right? Think about, maybe our the cafeteria at school or whatever. If we're going to do eggs, maybe we do something like that. And so, restaurant chains have used those things forever. And so those processed egg categories, yet they all still start with eggs.
They do. And when you think about pancakes, I have to think that in the batter of the pancake, there's an egg, right? I mean, that helps congeal it, bring it all together. I'm not a cook by any stretch of the imagination, but I seem to recall when I looked at even the powdered pancake mix, doctor, there was an egg in some way, shape, or form in that list of ingredients.
Well, that's beyond my cooking skills. I get the package that I'm going to add some water to it and it's all ready to go, or milk or whatever, and it's ready to go. And so I hadn't looked that close at the box. But, I think you make a good point that eggs and what we make from eggs are all through the grocery store, through the center of the store, and through the restaurants we go to. And so it's a basic staple. It's not something that we may buy all the time. And if we thought about a share of our total food dollar, eggs may not be a huge portion, but it sure is that thing we notice at the store a bunch.
Yeah, well, it's certainly making me hungry. Dr. Anderson, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to bringing you back on the program again very soon. We've got a lot more inflation to talk about and how to bring those prices down. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Hey, you too. Thanks.
And don't forget to subscribe to our daily newsletter, The Morning Pulse, for all the news in one place. Details, of course, at our website. And your subscription helps support all this great BRN content. And don't forget, we're back again tomorrow for another edition of BRN. Until then, I'm Jeff Snyder. Stay safe, keep on saving, and don't forget, roll with the changes.